Here's Ball running himself daft.
Was it over the line? It's been troubling football fans for decades, but goal line technology will soon be part of the game. This July, world footballing authorities will approve the use of technology after a series of rigorous tests. With the English Premier League confirming their intention to adopt it, what impact will it have on the most popular league in the world? This season, Premier League newcomers Queen's Park Rangers had a massive goal line decision go against them. I've come to chat to a former player who believes the time is right for technological assistance.
We've waited a long time for it, really. Well, if the Premier League started up today, it would start with technology in there. You look at all the other sports, and I think it's too much of a big business. It's more than a sport now. It's people's lives. Football is their life, and its livelihoods are at risk for it. The injustice of it all is the thing that eats you up inside. You see Clint's goal. He's never scored a Premier League goal. That could have been his first one. As a player, you're playing. You know the injustice. You know it hasn't gone over the line, but it has to live with you for the rest of your life.
Law 10 of the FIFA rulebook states that a goal is scored when the whole of the ball passes over the goal line. If any part of the ball remains on the line, it is not a goal. Currently, replays are inconclusive, as this Chelsea goal against Tottenham shows. The goal stood despite no camera angle revealing that the ball actually crossed the line. It's match day at Queen's Park Rangers, and the fans are in nervous mood as their club hovers just above relegation.
In March, head of match officials Mike Riley claimed that 92.3% of all major refereeing decisions were made correctly, whilst match officials got an even higher percentage right with their offside calls. I'm here at Loftus Road to check out what the fans think of the technology and whether it should be rolled out further than goal line.
Absolutely, after the Bolton match, it was so clearly in. And in fact, I'm surprised the linesman didn't actually see it.
People love football for the questions and the shouting down the pub and the arguments and all this. Yeah, if you take all that away, you could be killing the game.
Well, I just don't understand how hard it is to implement this technology rather than rely on a dodgy linesman.
Football has been the way it has been for all these years, and we don't want to change it.
Last season's Premier League, less than 1% of all major decisions involved goal line calls. This season, our research shows that only 3 goal-mouth instances have occurred in the Premier League. Football statistician Tim Long believes the technology needs to be rolled out further.
In my opinion, for goal line decisions, goal line technology, it's not enough. I think there are so few of them. There was 20 and only 4 of those were wrong. That's where you've got your 0.6 from. Compare that to, I think it was 360 something penalty box incidents. The Premier League table I logged last season would have actually not changed as opposed to the real table would have been completely the same had we had goal line technology.
Last season, the Premier League finished with West Ham, Blackpool and Birmingham being relegated, and this wouldn't have changed with the use of goal line technology. However, if all big decisions could have been reviewed, then Blackpool and Birmingham would have avoided the drop. So Tim was clearly in favour of the technology being rolled out to assist officials in all aspects of the game. But does a man who has experience of refereeing over 200 Premier League matches agree with him?
Hi there, Dad. How are you doing? We've been talking about it for over 40 years now. We didn't complain too much in '66 when it helped us win the World Cup. A ball going over the goal line or not going over the goal line is factual. Other aspects, penalties, offsides, they're matters of opinion. We watch Match of the Day, and on a Saturday evening, 4 or 5 hours after the game's finished, people are still arguing. As a referee, and I don't think any referee would disagree, they'd love to see the introduction of goal line technology sooner rather than later. In fairness, the goal line situation doesn't happen that often. When it does, it's massive publicity. I'm sure you've researched it. And probably, there might be half a dozen times a season that it happens. Even the video ref, as we've seen in other sports, that don't get it right all the time.
I'm here in central London outside the Premier League's headquarters where Chief Executive Richard Scudmore has just given us this statement. The Premier League has consistently said that it will look to bring in goal line technology at the earliest practical opportunity, and that hasn't changed. However, it's still unlikely to come into effect for next year's Premiership, as FIFA is still currently undergoing the testing process between the companies that are vying to be the provider.
One of those companies is Hawkeye, which Wimbledon umpire Matt Pors has been using in tennis for the last 6 years. He feels it's had a positive effect on the game.
I say enjoy having the Hawkeye on court. It helps me out so much in terms of as a tool to stop a lot of the aggro between, say, us and the players. I think football would be good for goal line technology to see if the ball actually cleared the line or not. And I don't think there'll be such a break afterwards that will cause a problem. I think it would be very instantaneous. We can, in tennis, do things very quickly as well. I think if you're going to bring to other aspects of football in terms of tackling and, if something's offside, yeah, there could be some pauses in play, which I don't think would be that popular.
Despite evidence that goal line technology would not alter the Premier League table, allowing video referrals for other aspects of football could actually create more problems than it solves. In this year's Rugby Six Nations, there was a controversial decision where England's David Strethel felt that technology denied him a match-saving try. Brad Barrett was playing for England in that game.
Did he get the ball down? Looks as if he did.
Yeah, obviously technology can only give you from certain angles. I think at the position where the camera couldn't really tell if it was a definite try. So I think at that stage, Strethel had felt that he had made the try. I think a linesman would have possibly been in position to see that. I think there's sometimes they go unnecessarily. I think if it's a definite try, they should rather just get on with the game and do it. But I think no ref wants to make that big decision and ultimately have his head on the firing line when he's made a silly call. So I think they'd rather be safe than go upstairs if they can.
From the start of the 2013 season, the Premier League will be brought into line with other sports in the UK by embracing technology. However, our research shows that with so few goal line decisions each season, the technology would be much more effective if it was used for more than just goal mouth incidents. The challenge that football will face is to what extent to use the technology whilst maintaining the speed and excitement of the Premier League.
Absolutely sensational stuff. Stays on his feet there.